Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth
and sell it on the internet really fast.
I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt. We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWitt.
Hello.
Welcome to our show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how your real estate company, and really any company for that matter, is structured in three basic roles or responsibilities or personality types, let's say. Excellent show today. We're going to talk about real estate as always, blanketed into the topic. Today's, before we do though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com, our free online community.
Okay. Chaz asked, so I was looking through one of my completed deeds and noticed one of my sellers didn't add his middle initial on his signature. For example, John D. Smith is on the deed, and he accidentally signed as John Smith. The deed was recorded, but the assessor's office will catch it. I know because I signed my first deed wrong. Should I have the notary meet the seller again to get this fixed? Or will it just work to sell it and fix it when I sign? The problem I'm seeing is, how can the title be conveyed from me to the buyer if it was never conveyed to me? Thanks, y'all. This happens.
Thanks, y'all.
I know.
That's awesome.
This happens.
I never saw that spelled out. I should get out of the house more often.
You put like apostrophe.
Yeah. She just typed it on my screen for me.
I did type it on your screen for you.
What's the answer here, Jill? This is way more up your alley than me.
I know. You know, what I would do in this situation.
I love your alley, by the way.
Thank you very much. I would have a backup. And I put this in Success
Trying to
Plant.
keep this rated G.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Pull your head out. I mean, you know what I mean? Out of the gutter is what I'm trying to say. Boy, that came out wrong.
Wow.
What
is it Friday night yet?
Up here.
No.
Eyes up here. Up here. So anyway.
I'm going to tell a Homer Simpson joke in a minute.
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. So Chaz been there. Totally been there. Okay. So number one, don't forge anything. That could come back and bite you. So you don't want to do that. So here's what I do though. Time is on your side now. He's already signed it. We're all cool. We're not in a hurry. He's got his money. We're not stressing about anything. So it's super easy to just call him up and say, you know what, Mr. Smith, you're not going to believe this. And the county hasn't caught it yet, but I sure did. So here's what I want to do. I'm just going to mail you another one. And would you please, next time you're at the at your bank, get the notary to sign it, to notarize your signature real quick for me and just mail it back. And if it takes this week, that's fine. Don't rush down and do it. I'm not going to send anybody to your house or anything because we're all cool. And Mr. Smith is always going to say, I've never had him not. He's always going to say, oh my gosh, yes, that's hilarious. Yeah. And he's going to feel bad going, I am so sorry that I missed that. So
notary should have caught it.
Right. And he's going to go, I will absolutely do that. You know, don't worry about it. Because boy, I seriously been there, done that. So, and then you have your new copy to send. You could wait for them to catch it, or you could head it off and call them up and say, I've got it in my hands, guys. How do you want me to get this quickly to you to fix this little
That's a good catch.
problem?
Jazz, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy.
You know, what happens more often than not in situations like this is when the person, so you're going to sell this, obviously you bought this to resell it, and then you sell the property and everything's fine. 5 years are going to go by, and the person that bought it from you is probably going to resell it, or something's going to happen. Maybe they're going to put a house on it. Well, anyway, a title agent gets involved, and you're going to get a phone call, and you're going to say, you know what, we need to fix this because we can't title insure it. Jill and I have done thousands and 15,000 deals. I don't think a month goes by where we don't get a big, thick package in the mail from some title agent somewhere saying, you know, do you remember when you guys sold that property in Texas in 2004? And I just laugh and say, no I don't actually, because it's one of 15,000 deals. Well, anyway, once we get all past that, they say, you know what? So there's some stuff here that's got to be signed and re-signed and intercompany, and so we just do. We sign it all away. We've got nothing but notaries in our office, and we get it all done. Mm-hmm. So it's no big deal. Not a big deal at all. It's one of those paperwork things, and it's just how you do it.
Exactly.
We're going to be entertained by our landscape people while we do
Exactly. Love it when this happens.
this. Today's topic is your real estate company structure has 3 basic rules, and like I said earlier, any company has these rules. This is the meat of the show. And here they are right up front. A visionary, the person who comes up with the idea and, for the company and is a forward-thinking person. Number 2 is the organizer, or the manager, let's say, the person that's kind of puts all the stuff in place and organizes it. And then thirdly, the workforce, the people who they execute they do the work. Said another way, the eccentric weirdo, which is me, or the OCD boss, curmudgeon, which is kind of Jill, not curmudgeon.
I think that's still you.
Underpaid associates who actually do all
me.
the work. There has to be a weirdo in every company. Have you noticed that? Who's the guy that owns Virgin Airlines? Branson? Something?
Branson.
Yeah, Branson.
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
A nutcase. Who's the guy that owns that electric car company? And he started Yahoo.
The Tesla guy?
Tesla, yeah.
Yeah,
He's nuts. There's always a weirdo at the helm.
Yeah. And there's the one that follows up behind them,
It's Steve
sweeping
Jobs.
up the mess and making sure stuff gets done.
Steve Jobs is mentally ill. I mean, he was
Yeah.
mentally ill. Serious, I'm not joking.
Got it.
And that's what sometimes people that are successful have some problems.
Who was the drummer in that movie that we were talking about? Remember that movie that he had the drum set and he would just
Yeah, yes.
It was
I
the
love that. I
that
love that
crash
scene.
that movie.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I should.
The actor's name was, it doesn't matter. I'll think of it in a second, but
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. And he just had a drum set in his bass. He's like, he was brilliant. He's a genius, literally.
Exactly.
And he called the whole market downturn and bet against it.
Right.
And he's a multi-billionaire. He made $4 or $5 billion.
Exactly. Got him all to create on that insurance, all those insurance things against that stuff happening, and they're like, that's never going to
He had
happen.
a drum set
and
in
he
his
was
basement,
right.
man.
Yeah.
And he took it out on the drum set, which I think is brilliant in of itself.
I agree.
Don't take stuff out on your people you love.
No.
Take it out on a drum set.
Exactly.
Take it out on the checkout lady at the store you're never going to go to again.
Oh my gosh. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Back into someone that you don't like. I don't know. What the heck? No. That's hilarious.
So,
I'm going to take it out of my gardener here in a minute.
oh, I forgot to tell the Homer Simpson thing. So there's this scene in The Simpsons one time where there's an extremely attractive cartoon figure that's talking to Homer, and he's just staring at her chest, and she's talking away, and he's staring at her chest, and she says, Homer, my eyes are up here. And he said, I've made my choice.
I remember that. I've heard you tell me that one before. That's so
Jill's tired of
funny.
it. Tired
That's
of
so
that silly
silly.
jokes.
No, it's good. It's all good stuff.
All companies have to have it's a business development person. I think, the person who is coming up with these new ideas and new products and stuff, and they're not necessarily, in almost all cases, they are not the best person to run everything. They're not the best person to put electronic files in place and systems where there's payroll and all that. That's for the number 2 person, the vice president or the operations or the manager. Really, it's operations. Mm-hmm. And that position doesn't have to be industry specific. I mean, there's office managers / senior managers, and you can jump from real estate to manufacturing to whatever. Mm-hmm. It's really just keeping everybody calm and focused. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the people who actually do the work. I don't care if you have a mine or a manufacturing company or some type of office company like we do. All the work's got to get done. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty simple stuff. This does not get discussed enough. Mm-hmm. I think people just go off half-cocked and think stuff's going to get done. I was like that. I used to be like that. And it takes a lot of intent to run something like this.
Well, I love because the book I'm reading right now is talking about when you're starting off and you have your own company, you're actually kind of wearing all 3 hats. And then you have to learn to separate the roles as you go on if you want to succeed. And that's what's so cool about this book. The whole gist of it is if you think you're going to continue wearing all three hats, you will burn yourself out and fail.
Yeah, because you're not, I mean, it's very, very rare that you're actually good at all three things. So the sooner you plan for it and budget for it and save some money or wherever your capital's coming from, so get the right people in the right place, whether they're vendors or virtual assistants or full-time employees or whatever, the better off and the happier you're going to be. Chances are, if you started a company like me, you're the visionary. You're coming up with the new product lines and new websites and new ideas all the time. Hopefully at the request of your existing customers. That's where we get all of our business ideas, where I do. And then Jill screams at me until we get it implemented. Like, here's what happens. Oh my gosh, this is me talking. We should do this, and this. And we have a product called Deed Perfect. This is a perfect example where you input all your stuff, because all of our customers hate doing deeds, and so do I. So we hired a web developer. It's live. Go there, deedperfect.com. You input all your stuff, and at the end of it, it kicks out a deed, and you can send it to the county and get recorded. Well, that was the topic of some pretty serious, I'm going to call them discussions between Jill and I. Because like an idiot, I go on the air in one of these shows or one of our calls and say, we've got this thing, it's going to happen. And then she's shaking her head going, this is a mess. You should never announce something like this. And by the way, she's 100% right. You should never announce something like this flippantly. You should get it all worked out and figure it out and it's done and then announce it. So instead, it's just a whole fire drill of a process to get it where it works right. And that's what I mean by eccentric weirdo. That's me. I do stuff like this to my staff all the time.
Is this kind of sounding
and I promise,
nice.
Look at, she's just sitting there looking at me.
No, in a really good way, because you know what? You're actually apologizing, it sounds like, on the air, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for saying that.
I bring up Deed Perfect because that one actually worked, and it's working, and it's awesome, and people love it. There's like, for every one like that, there's 10 where I said, oh, we got this whole thing, and then it's like, and then my whole staff has to stop what they're doing,
right? Backpedal,
and explain to everyone why it's not working and doesn't even exist except for in my head.
You know what we should do? I'm going to put a bulletin board on the office, and it's going to say things that Steven said we're going to do free and tomorrow.
I think everything should be free.
I know.
I really do.
You know what? I think that's this. And I love. You know what, Jack? You are so. You are always on the right path. You have a very big heart. You want to solve everybody's problems. I love it. And you want it all to be free and available tomorrow. And I appreciate that. However, who's going to do it?
You are.
Thanks. I know. And this is the thing. Yikes. I want to be the can we take turns? We'll do rock, paper, scissors and every other month. I get to be the weirdo and come up with the ideas.
I think everything, honest to God, I think everything should be free.
Yeah.
Except for access to the data to doorstep. It's just a simple, incredibly low cost for our customers, low cost monthly payment to access the world's data, man.
Well, you know what? It's got to get paid for somehow.
That's right.
I mean, the work that's going in behind the scenes to this.
Gotta get paid. That's right.
I mean, we just we're adding a whole new product. I'm not going to say it right now, to data to doorstep, and we had to get some training on it, formally yesterday, and I never really this product I thought was kind of subpar, but now I'm rethinking it, and it's what we're adding as far as data and access right now is off the charts. And I'm sitting there going, wow, it's really cool. And it's so fun because I wonder how much the person that's giving, she knew her stuff, by the way. And
I was really, really impressed with her.
I was.
She, on the cuff, gave a computer, online presentation to Jill and our staff. And I wasn't even going to be there. And I overheard it going on. And there goes half of my day because she did a great job.
It was a 3.5 hour conference call, and you and I were we're into it. We
high-fived each other 10 times because that is going to be a great product for our customers.
We can have that access?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, it's really cool.
Why can't you say the name of it?
Because I want to save it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I let the cat out of the bag too fast, huh?
Yeah, I want to save it.
I see what's going on.
Saving it. Building up hype.
You know what? I'm zipping it. You're right.
Saving it. They're going to wonder now. Now everybody knows that we did some 3.5 hours for us to get through this stuff. It's got to be good. So, and it's awesome. So, thank you.
This is the Technical 2 minutes of property investment advice from our 15-year, 15,000 transaction experience. Again, not so much about real estate, but darn good advice. Know which one of the three people or personality types you are here. Are you the eccentric weirdo visionary organizer or visionary manager? Are you the OCD organized, dot your I's, cross your T's boss type person? Or you just want to work there, get a paycheck, and get out at 5:01 every single day? Which one? Lead, follow, or get out of the way? That's what makes a super efficient, profitable company. Silence from Jill. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. That was actually a compliment.
Thank you.
Let's hear from Jill right now so I can stop talking about the inspiration she shares with us every day.
Okay. Jack, first of all, do you know that the date that you and I rolled into town here in California, that right now, the day that we are recording this, it's been exactly 1 month.
Yes, I did know that.
Okay.
I looked at the, that this company is 1 year old this month too? The Land Academy thing?
Is it?
Yeah.
From when we were rolling out the product. Oh, yeah. When we launched it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's really 15 years old in my head, but it actually was available in the whole thing.
In July last year. That's very true. So my inspiration is now, you and I have been here for a month now. And I know that I set out with some goals for myself that I was going to do here.
I love where this is going.
And I'm now 30 days in. And I'm reevaluating it. And I realize I'm dropping the ball.
What?
So, no, I'm serious.
Self-evaluation.
I'm serious. And so
how many people have wives who self-evaluate and say, you know what, I need to improve? No one except me. Go ahead.
Thank you. So thank you very much. So my inspiration today is, hey, are you giving yourself some reevaluation time, and are you sticking to your goals, or do you need to, maybe make some changes? So I'm here to say, one of mine was spending a lot more time. I was going to do early morning walks on the beach, drinking my coffee, stuff like that. When I do those little things, it just gets my head right, and I'm a much better person. I'm a much better boss. I'm a much better everything if I can just get out of my head a little bit and out of my workspace a little bit and get outside for a little bit. And I am not doing it like I should.
Why do you think?
I'm not making the time, and I need to.
I take a motorcycle ride at 5:30 every single morning, or I surf or something like that. No, probably 90% of the time. And that really gets me in the straight, usually go up in the mountains and look at the ocean and stuff, or wherever we happen to be. And that really just straightens it all out for me. Plus, it's the only time anywhere in Los Angeles that you can drive anywhere.
So yeah, good. I'm glad you're doing that. So yeah, so you're on track. Your goals are good. Yeah. I can tell you mine are not. And now it's great for me because I need to reevaluate it. And I want to share that with everyone because you need to, check on yourself, because and 30 days is a good time. You don't want 6 months to go by and
every minute. You don't want to check every minute.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you're on a diet. You don't want to get on the scale every day. Don't drive yourself batty. That's silly. But get on the scale once a week, sure. And then once a month, where are you?
Just have a plan.
So
have a plan, execute it, and check
on yourself.
Check yourself.
And then maybe another thing that's important is, was it a realistic goal to begin with?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. You may, if you said, oh, I'm going to quit smoking, or I don't know what it is, dream it up. I'm going to have a new job. Let's say my new career, I'm going to be off, and I'm going to be a millionaire by now. Whatever it is, cut yourself some slack too, and think about, was my goal really realistic? You know what? There's two parts. That. One, it might not be a realistic goal, and number two, maybe you are really dropping the ball. And either way, something's got to change.
I'm really glad you said that millionaire thing. Don't have vague goals like I want to be a millionaire.
Right.
That's just I have a peeve about that.
Yeah.
You need to know, are you going to become a millionaire by having a mechanical engineering firm? And then what are you going to do? Deconstruct it. Look at somebody who's done it already and deconstruct it backwards and then put a plan together. And then you won't be a millionaire, you'll be a bajillionaire.
Right.
That's how to do that.
Exactly.
But if you sit there and say, I've asked little kids this sometimes, not little kids, but 10, 12, 15 years old, what are you going to do for a living? I don't know. I'm going to be rich. I'm like, okay, now you just wrecked the rest of the day. Sit down.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Dad. That's what they say. Not again.
Exactly.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
And inspiration, that's me.
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Jill, you outdid yourself. That was awesome inspiration.
Thank you very much.
I don't think you're dropping the ball anywhere for the record.
Thank you. I got to tell you something funny right
Yeah.
now. So, and this is not a political thing. I do not support or deny or anything political. I just think this is funny.
I do not deny.
I do not deny. I'm not going to support. I'm not going to say anything. I just think this little tidbit is funny. So, we have visitors here with us, and they're going to go down and they want to check out Hollywood today, and they want to see the walk, the stars on the sidewalk and do all that. So I'm laying in bed last night and I'm surfing Facebook and looking in Twitter and some stuff like that. And this thing popped up that they don't know about. And this is one place they want to go see. Trump's star on the walk right now, Jack. There's a whole photo there. Somebody built a little wall around his star. Isn't that hilarious? It's like
for what? What's
like
the point
a
there?
6-inch high wall around the Trump star.
That could mean pro or against.
Isn't that hilarious? I'm like, oh, so I didn't tell them. So
I wonder
they're
it's
gonna go.
to stop it from being defaced.
Dude, they're gonna. No,
I mean, or is it
no. It's a little 6-inch joke. It's a stab at him about building a wall around.
Oh,
things.
I see.
Yeah,
Building a wall around the country.
That
That's
kind of
awesome.
a wall. So I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. And they have a photo and they show people
Planet
standing there. I'm
Trump.
like,
That's
oh
awesome.
my gosh, that's great. So
I'm going to save it for another show. Donald Trump has an awesome business model. Like him or hate him, I don't really care. Personally, I don't have an opinion about it, but his business model rocks.
cool.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We
are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show. We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land,
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
and really fast. Thanks for listening.
Let's go buy some property. If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.